I drove down from Newcastle to Melbourne. It took around 11 hours. Plus, of course, you got to stop for fuel and to charge and all that kind of stuff. It was a big effort, all right? It took a couple of nights, and ultimately, it was a little bit disappointing for one big reason. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking Melbourne EV show. I believe, based on the fact I've been to both of them, it was the biggest electric car show in Australia ever, which is good. It was great. Unfortunately, there was no BYD and no MG, but we did have EVs from a bunch of other brands. Plus, there was a bunch of other electric stuff. There was some really cool electric Formula One car. That thing looked absolutely insane. I think I'd throw up immediately if I drove that thing. And of course, I went there because I was invited to speak at the event. Now, a lot of you turned up, and unfortunately, a lot of you had to be turned away because there wasn't enough headphones. The stage was in an area where there was too much noise, so they set it up so everyone could wear headphones. And I had to speak into a microphone. I couldn't really hear myself, and people were listening with headphones, so I couldn't really hear if they could hear me. It was a bit of a challenge. Now, people seemed to hear me, but unfortunately, a lot of people kind of came and, well, they couldn't hear me because they didn't have headphones. There wasn't enough headphones for everyone to listen. So it was pointless for them to even be there because, well, they couldn't hear me. So if I'm there again, I'm going to make sure that that doesn't happen. I'm going to say apologies, guys, if you came to the event and you weren't able to hear. So, you're just standing there trying to catch a few words, because ultimately that's pretty disappointing for you. So I really am apologetic that happened. That said, though, thank you for coming. It was fantastic to meet you and to really give you my message. My key messages here that I've been thinking about for the last 2 years were what I spoke about during this speech. Now, I do have some other important things to share with you, but ultimately the key message was this: the timelines for when EVs will be cheaper to manufacture than gasoline-powered or petrol-powered vehicles, when they are. There's a different timeline for different types of cars based on the size of the battery pack, based on the size of the car. It's all happening very quickly, though, based on numerous things. S-curve adoption is happening. In fact, it's now happening in 26 different countries worldwide. The end of gasoline is actually coming much quicker than we thought. Europe's new rules for banning gasoline vehicles in 2035 and petrol diesel vehicles, I don't think it will be actually needed. However, the key point here for me is this: there are no motor shows really in most of the world anymore. They've been cancelled. They've been replaced with electric car shows.